Question 7. Mindy is 9 years old and the mother is 47 years old. So we are talking about age again. There's one thing that we always remember, their differences is always going to be the same. So we have got Mindy, which is 9, and we have got the mother, which I'm going to denote as MO, will be 47. So no matter how many years has passed, the difference will always be the same. So let's find out their difference first. 47 minus a 9 will give you a 38. Okay, now in how many years time will Mindy be 1/3 as old as her mother? This sentence is confusing, but it just means that Mindy is just going to be one part, whereas the mother 3 parts. Remember, the number on top belongs to the person on the left. The number below usually belongs to the person to the right. So Mindy is going to be 1 unit, whereas the mother is going to be the 3 units, which makes sense because you are supposed to be younger than your mother. So the mother is 3 times, Mindy is only 1/3 of it. Okay, now there's a difference. And one thing that we learned from MSP, their difference is always the same. The difference is always 38, no matter how many years has passed. So 2 units is equals to 38. We are interested to find 1 unit, which is 38 divided by 2 gives you 19. 19 for each unit. Okay, now how many years time will Mindy be 1/3? So we are interested in Mindy. Now Mindy right now, you want her to be 1/3, she needs to be 19 years old in order to be 1/3. But the problem is she's only 9 now. So how many more years to go? She will have to reach 19 before she's 1/3. But she's only 9 years old now. So we subtract both numbers, we will get the answer 10. Let's go to question 8. You have 2 people, Yo and Kamal. Yo bought 1 whole 3/4 kg of beef. Now, Kamal is someone who bought lesser. Okay, I can see from here. So I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract away from what Yo has. Okay, because it's paper 2, please don't waste your time calculating by common denominator and so on. You will get 1 whole 7 out of 20. Okay, now the question is asking for all together. So we're going to add what Yo have, what Kamal have. You notice I circled both of the fractions. So it's very easy for me to see Yo has 1 whole 3/4, Kamal has 1 whole 7/20. You might want to do that in the exams as well. Okay, circle the numbers that you are interested in only and add these 2 fractions together. So you don't get confused by so many fractions that's lying over there. Okay, so if you use a calculator, the calculator should give you a very nice number, 3 whole 1/10. But please remember, because this unit requires you to be written inside, it's a mathematics unit, kg. Okay, let's go on. You have these 2 people, Mrs. Tan giving money to Roland and Cheryl, and it's going to be in this ratio, Roland and Cheryl, 5:1. Okay, Roland is going to get $250. If you take a look at Roland, Roland has got 5 units. So this 5 units would mean that it is a total of 250. So always find for 1 unit. We're going to take a 250, we're going to divide it by 5, which is going to give us $50. Okay, so 5 units represents 250, whereas 1 unit represents $50. Okay, I might just want to put the numbers at the bottom. So I know $50 is who, $250 is who. Okay, now the both of them actually had a total of, let's find out. Both of them has a total, T denotes total of $300. Okay. Now the question would like to ask, how much more money must Roland give so that both of them have the same amount? Now, why do I want to find the total? Because if I know that 2 people got a total of 300, that means to be fair, so that everyone gets equal number, everyone should be taking only $150 per person. 150, 150. Right now, what happens is that Roland has got 250. And to make sure everyone has equal amount, each one should only get 150. So how much money has to be given away? From 250 to 150, it will be 250 minus away 150 gives you $100. So Roland's got to give away $100 so that everyone gets 150. If you want to double check, please go ahead. Cheryl has 50. If she's going to get $100, she will become $150 as well, which makes everyone equal. So the answer should be correct, $100. So that's one way you can check your answers as well. Okay, now let's move on. Question 9 is done. Let's go on to question 10. You have got a square ABCD and it's made out of 4 similar squares. If the length of ABCD is 10 centimeter, it's a square. Now this word square tells me a very important clue. That means all sides are equal. They are all 10 as well. Okay, what is the area of the unshaded? Something that I need to look out for. If you have a highlighter, you may want to shade and tell us I need to find the unshaded, because all of you have the habit of finding what is the shaded part instead. Alright, so what happens is that if you see a triangle that like this, it looks like a really odd triangle. Something that doesn't have a base, something that you can't find a proper area at all. You should think of alternative solution. Instead of half base times height, instead of some half base times height, is there something else I can do? Is there something I might do? For example, shifting this part of the triangle over to here, shifting this part of the triangle over to here, so that this is filled up and this is filled up, whereas this is gone and this is gone. So you can see if it's all filled up, now it is only occupying 1/4 of a square. So let's find out the whole area first, which means the entire square, which is 10 times 10 gives you 100. Okay, and since this triangle, when I shifted them, it became only 1/4, which means that it only takes up 1 out of 4 parts. Divide it by 4, I will get 25 square centimeter. But the problem is this 25 square centimeter refers to the shaded. Okay, now note I made a mistake. Instead of writing units, I should not write a unit here. Number divided by a number gives a number. 25 is a shaded. Now the question is asking for unshaded instead. So I will have to have the 100, which is the total area of the square, minus the 25, and it will get me the part that is unshaded, which is 75. So the answer has to be in units though, 75 square centimeters. Okay, so I got a feeling some of you or many of you will stop at this step because you are thinking I'm finding the shaded instead of the unshaded. So the 75 refers to the unshaded part. Alright, let's go on. Question 11. Okay, simple primary 3 question. We have got Nancy, Judy, and Alice, 3 people. So let's start off with this person, A and N. A versus N, and this A has got 30 more books. So we're going to draw the 30 more in shaded, whereas the N is the same 1 unit without the 30. So this sentence is done. Shorten the story. We're going to move on to the next one. Nancy, which is this person, has 50 more books than Judy. So we are writing another unit, but this time around this unit is not a unit at all because it's shorter by 50. Okay, you notice it's shorter by 50 because Judy has lesser 50. Okay, so this is a unit. Okay, I shade those that are proper units. This is also 1 unit. Now, the one for Judy cannot be counted as a proper unit because it's smaller. So I'm not going to shade that. But I know that all of them has got a total of 370. Okay, now, what to do? Let's look at Alice first. Okay, Alice has got this extra portion, which we might want to take out first to get us 340. Okay, now the thing is, this Judy over here is not a proper 1 unit. So if you remember what we learned in primary 3 or primary 4, we can use the number and we add a 50 back in. Remember the space over here that's empty is a 50. Let's add it back so that we get a proper unit in total. when we add the 50 in together. Now we know something. This is 1 unit. This is another unit. And after adding the 50, this has become also 1 unit. So a total of 3 units gives us 390. Let's find for 1 unit. 390 divided by 3 will give us 130. How many books does Alice have? Now Alice has this 1 unit and a 30. So a 1 unit and a 30 gives you a total of 160 as your answer. So 160 books. Okay? Alright, now the last question. This happens if you have done a renting of bicycles outside before. Now you have a time over here, and whenever I look at the time, I know I will need to do something, a timeline. A timeline gives you M1 in the exam. Now you started cycling at 9:30 and you're going to end at 12:45 p.m. Let me just put the AM and PM in. Going by the timeline, okay, we always want to go into the nearest ninth hour, which is about 12:30. From 9:30 to 12:30 is a total of 3 hours. Okay, and from 12:30 to 12:45 is a interval of 15 minutes. So this person, both of them cycled for 3 hours, 15 minutes. Okay, and based on the rate, usually the first hour will be more expensive. It's the same as taking a taxi. When the moment you hop onto a taxi, the first kilometers will be very expensive. When you flag a cab down, it starts out with $2.80 and so on. So a total of 3 hours and 15 minutes we are interested in. Okay, because they rented for 3 hours and 15 minutes. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to break it down. The first hour. The first hour, how much did one person have to pay? $2.50. Okay. Now, 2 more hours and 15 minutes to go. We're going to look at the second hour. Now, the second hour says this. After the first hour, every additional half hour gives you $1.50. So at the second hour, these people will have to pay a total of $1.50. $1.50 is only for half an hour. I multiply by 2 to get a full hour, which is $3. Now, that's not all, because you have 1 hour, the first hour, you have the second hour, you got to have the third hour, because they traveled for 3 hours, 15 minutes. So at the third hour, the same thing is going to happen. They're going to rent, and also by per hour, they need to pay another $3. Now, the problem is this. Now they got 15 minutes left, which I have not counted in yet. 15 minutes, even though you have only used up 15 minutes, okay, but the rule says this. Every half an hour, you already got to pay $1.50. Although 15 minutes is lesser than half an hour, in business sense, for businessmen to earn money, they will still charge you at $1.50, even though you use only 15 minutes of it. Okay, so these three numbers give you the total cost for 3 hours, whereas this one gives you the total cost for the 15 minutes. So we're going to add these 4 digits together, which is $2.50 plus $3 plus $3 plus $1.50. Now it's going to give you a total of 10. Okay, no units. Now the problem is this $10 is only for one person. Okay, some of you could have fallen for the trick that said, how much did both boys pay together? If $10 is for one person, that means I will need to multiply the amount twice so that we can find out how much both boys are paying altogether.